there's a verse in the Bible that kind of points us out. It's a story, actually. If we look in 2 Timothy 2:20-21, it says this. This is a really cool analogy. It says, in a wealthy home, some utensils are made of gold and silver. Some are made of wood and clay. The expensive utensils are used for special occasions, and the cheap ones are for everyday use. If you keep yourself pure, you will be a special utensil for honorable use. Your life will be clean, and you'll be ready for the master to use you for every good work. What's the writer tell us? The writer tells us that there's basically two kinds of utensils that God can use. One, gold and silver, and two, wood and clay. You know what the difference is? What they're made of. Their purity. And he said with the wood and clay, you can use those for everyday kind of use, but the gold and silver, God pulls those out at special times to do special things for him. And then he says, what makes the difference? The difference is purity. Some of you are wondering why God uses other people but not you. My question would be is, are you living a pure life so he can use you in those ways? Here's the deal with a utensil. If I used a utensil and it was extremely dirty, and then I was going to make something new, would I grab the dirty utensil to make something new, or would I grab a good clean utensil out of my drawer to make something new? I think we would all, if we weren't completely disgusting or a bachelor, we would use the new spoon. Why? Because it's not dirty. It's not used. I have a use for it. I can use it now because it's good. And many times, I honestly believe that God wants to use people, but they're dirty and he can't use you, so he's got to go find somebody else that's clean, that's pure, that has the right heart, that he can use them. Kind of sitting in the thing, and he's like, if you'd clean yourself up and let me help you clean yourself up, then I could use you, but I can't. You're dirty. And sometimes we think that dirtiness is all the drugs and rock and roll, right? That's what makes us dirty. But the truth really is dirty is a level of where you are in your walk with God. Because for some people, the longer you've walked with God, your issues may be a lot more narrow. Because why? Because God wants to continually purify you. And for other people, you may be like, well, John the Baptist had disciples, and Jesus had disciples, and Jesus' disciples were hanging out with people that were of questionable character and going to questionable places, and John the Baptist's disciples said, well, why do they get to do that? See why? Because they were more concerned on the outside look, and Jesus said it's about what's on your heart. Is your heart clean? Not your outside life, not what you do on the outside, but is your heart clean? The word pure there is interesting. It says, when you're pure, the word pure actually means in the process of cleaning out. In the process of cleaning out. So what he's saying there is it's not that you have to necessarily be exactly pure with no issues, no faults, because here's the deal. We're all going to have issues and faults, period. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect. I don't mean to bust your bubble, but you're not. But are you in the process? It's not about perfection. It's about persistence, and we'll talk about persistence next week, but are you in the process? Are you continually every day talking to God and saying, God, what is it in my life that you want to redirect? And when he gives it to you, then you begin to walk that out.